He says, I'm ready, so help me, I'm ready. And when he said that, the folks just rolled, and the band laughed too, and he was ready. Pops is really ready. Mm-hmm.
Get out there, boys. I'm ready. Yeah.
Louis Armstrong invented a new style of playing. Louis Armstrong created the coherent solo. Louis Armstrong fused the sound of the blues with the American popular song. Louis Armstrong extended the range of the trumpet. Louis Armstrong created the melodic and rhythmic vocabulary that all of the big bands wrote music out of.
Hollywood. Vic Burton, drummer with Abe Lyman's band, and Louis Armstrong, colored trumpet artist in Sebastian's Cotton Club, were arrested by narcotics officers and arraigned on charges of possessing marijuana, a dope weed used in cigarettes. Variety.
As soon as Armstrong's agent Tommy Rockwell heard the news of Armstrong's arrest, he sent a thug named Johnny Collins to Los Angeles with orders to use his underworld connections to get his trumpet star out of jail. It worked. Armstrong was out in 9 days.
Yeah, there's lots of the jazz musicians got busted for pot, especially you know, the African ones.
Yeah.
But anybody, even, you know, Gene Krupa even, you know.
Gene Krupa got busted.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Benny kicked him out of the band for that. Benny Goodman.
That's crazy.
Anslinger used us to have the report discredited and destroyed every copy he could get his hands on. And by restricting the supply of marijuana, he put a stop to any further research. Not taking any chances, Anslinger ordered his men to dig up dirt on anyone who disagreed with him. And going on the offensive, he targeted the entertainment industry, which he saw as a degenerate moral influence.
And Lester Young got busted.
Yeah, he was good friends with Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday's friend Lester Young. Age 90. He kept files on Thelonious Monk, Louis Armstrong, Les Brown, Count Basie, Jimmy Dorsey, Duke Ellington, Dizzy Gillespie, Lionel Hampton, Andre Constellanets, Cab Calloway.
Funny reefer man. Oh, that funny reefer man. He smokes a reefer, he gets high, then he flies to the sky. That funny reefer man.
with marijuana showing up in the big cities, Anslinger realized it might be the answer to his problem. If he could persuade white America that marijuana was a deadly menace, frightened voters might push their state legislators to sign on to his Uniform Narcotics Act.
Like Robert Mitchum and...
People in Hollywood were smoking pot, even some whites.
Yeah, for sure.
And let's see, Mezz Mezzrow. He was the guy who wrote Really the Blues with Bernard Wolfe in 1946. And he was a very famous dealer to like Louis Armstrong and all the jazz people. Became a pot dealer and writer.
Yeah, he was a blues musician. He was a saxophone player, and he had a bunch of bands and stuff. Did a European tour and whatnot. But he was known as for you know, spreading the mezz, they call it, you know, the mighty mezz, you know.
When you first begin smoking it, you see things in a wonderful, soothing, easygoing new light. All of a sudden, the world is stripped of its dirty gray shroud and becomes one big belly full of giggles, a spherical laugh, bathed in brilliant, sparkling colors that hit you like a heat wave. Nothing leaves you cold anymore. There's a humorous tickle and a great meaning in the least little thing. The twitch of someone's little finger or the click of a beer glass. All your pores open like funnels. Your nerve ends stretched their mouths wide, hungry and thirsty for new sights and sounds and sensations. And every sensation, when it comes, is the most exciting one you've ever had. You can't get enough of anything. You want to gobble up the whole goddamn universe just for an appetizer. Them first kicks are a killer, Jim.
Well, what do you think about it is, like, makes marijuana such an acceptable herb to smoke before playing jazz? Like,
well, it's the time shift thing, and it also relaxes you, and you play your best when you are relaxed. I think it also, when you smoke it changes your breath, and your breath is very important to what consciousness you're in, and focusing and stuff like that. So there's all those sort of aspects of it, and as well as, you know, as Harry Anslinger noted, right, that the black musicians had an advantage over the white musicians because they smoked marijuana, and it distorted the sense of time, and that way they were, you know, they had to, you know, the white musicians couldn't play as fast as the black musicians played twice as fast because they were smoking pot, right? Well, you know,
I guess they could just jam more notes in there.
Because they could jam more notes in there because they didn't have they had a different sense of time. So
yeah,
it's, you know, all those kind of things. It does occur, right? You know, so it's like a performance-enhancing drug if you're a jazz musician, for some people.
Yeah.
And just the right amount, again, too. Titration is very important.
And I guess the beat generation, the poets used to do their poetry to jazz music.
There's some, I mean, probably most of the great classic novels in English literature and other literature in other languages have been written while under the influence of cannabis. Who knows what not, you know.
And now Du Maurier Jazz Festival, even though they've withdrawn their advertising, you can still see the tobacco lingering by lots of their promotional material they reuse, right?
Yeah.
So you still see Du Maurier Jazz Festival, and it's still their colors, their advertising package colors. So it's like they've kind of stolen marijuana music, which is jazz music, out from the pot people and claimed it as their own. And actually, doing this research, I noted that jazz itself was named after another herb, jasmine.
Right.
The aromatic herb that the prostitutes used to wear the scent of.
Right.
And so it's like you know, jazz is so marijuana entwined.
Yeah, jazz and marijuana and sex and a good time, pretty much, just pretty much intertwined.